Hello. Yeah, in this video, I will show you how to perform the Hotelling's T2 test using R. So the Hotelling's test is basically a multivariate version of the t-test. So it tests um, whether the multivariate mean equal to a specified mean vector. That's for the one sample Hotelling t-test. Or we can test if two multivariate normal distribution has equal means. Okay, that's for the two sample Hotelling's test. Okay, so let me first generate a data set using the library mass set random C. Sample size 50. The mean vector for group 1 is 0, 0, 0. Mean vector for group 2 is 0.5, 0.5, and 0.5. The covariance matrix is 3 by 3, so it's 1, 0 0.5, 0 0.5, 0 0.5, 1, 0 0.5, 0 0.5, 0.1. So you can see we are generating data for two groups, but they're with equal variances. Okay. And then we can combine this group together and generate another group vector. And let's convert this matrix groups into a data frame for later use. So the first method I want to show you for performing the Hotelling T2 test is by using the R package called DescTools. Okay, so I already installed this library package, so I load it in. And the function is called Hotelling's T2 test. Let's look at the help file. You can see the help file here is one way to use it, just using X and Y. So by default, the Y is null. If so, you don't have the Y, then it does a one sample test. Okay, but if you have an X and have Y, then it will perform the two sample test. And mu is the hypothesized mean vector, and test equal to F, then by default is F, it will perform an F test. And you can also specify as chi-square, CHI, it will perform a chi-square test. Okay, so the second way to use this function is you can use a formula. So basically, the data regressed on the group variable. So we're not going to use that option here. But you can see for this option, it also has a subset. So you can perform Hotelling's test on the subset of the data set. And also has an NA action option. So you can specify how do you want to treat the missing data if there's any in the data set. Okay. All right. So to actually do it pretty simple, you can see the result one is Hotelling's T2 test, and group 1 and group 2. And if we want the chi-square test, then we just specify test equal to CHI. Now print out the results. You can see the F-test result. The p-value is 0.008623. It's based on an F distribution, degree of freedom 3 and 96. The chi-square has a p-value of 0.003685. It's based on the chi-square distribution with degree of freedom 3. Okay. All right. So the second way to do Hotelling's T2 test in R is there's a package called Hotelling. Okay. So we can install Hotelling package and load it in. Let's look at the help file. You can see it's also similar to the previous function. So we have x and y, and it has several other options. Now this one does has the variance equal to true or false. So it allows us to handle equal variances or unequal variances situation. Remember, the simulated data we have is equal variance. Okay, and also the perm equal to false. This is we can perform a permutation test for comparing the two multivariate means, and this is useful when the sample size is small. Okay, and then B is the 10,000 as a steps of permutation, and pro bar equal to true if you specify perm equal to true, and then by default pro bar is true, then they're going to show a progress bar. Okay, so let me show you how to do this. Okay, now that's the progress bar. Okay, so you can see the permutation approach takes a bit more time. And let's print out the results. So this is the results, the same as the previous result, based on the, I think based on the f-test. And then this is the permutation test. Okay, also very small p-value, and did 10,000 permutations. And for the permutation test, we can also generate a plot. Okay, so you can see the distribution of the permuted test statistics over there. Okay, so the third way is we can use our patch called the MVTests, so multivariate tests. I already installed it, so I load it in. And the function we are going to use is called the two sample HT2. There's also a one sample HT2 for one sample Hoteling's test. So this is the help file for the two samples HT2 function in the MVTests package. You can see this one, it's a little bit strict in terms of how to use this function. We have to put the data in there, and then there's a corresponding group variable, and then we need specify the alpha level and homogeneity. That's by default is true, so for equal variance. And if you want the unequal variance, then you specify homogeneity equal to false. Okay. And previously I already put the data in the groups .df, the data frame, and I put the group there 1 and 2 group vectors into GRP. So the first test we just do are using the default, and the second one we specify homogeneity equal to false, so the unequal variance. And then this is the equal variance, so it has a lot more results than the previous two functions, but the p-value is here. And also it generates confidence intervals and descriptive statistics in both groups, and etc. etc. Okay. Of course, you can also print out the unequal variance version, but for this one, we know from the data generation, we know our data has equal variances. Okay, so I showed you 3 ways for performing the Hoteling's T2 test in R. Thank you.